Throughout my life, me and most of the people around me never used an iPhone, mostly due to two reasons. They were always a notch expensive than their Android counterparts. They felt more complicated to use, as iOS had weird limitations. More emphasis on these weird limitations, as even after the prices started to make some sense, switching to an iPhone just seemed like giving up on a little bit of your freedom. On the customization side, running any and every APK file. Okay, now look, I do know that APK is mostly native for Android and iOS has IPA files, but even sideloading those IPA files is a huge, exhausting task. So, yeah, back to the video. The probability of plugging almost anything in the USB-C port and that it works. See, this is the issue. My problem isn't necessarily with the beautifully crafted iPhone 16 Pro. Sleek titanium body, questionable macro keys, action buttons, and camera sliders, whatnot. But mostly on the approach to unify it all. iOS 18. First off, there's the bugs. Turning off while randomly scrolling. Check. Charging stopping midway. Also there. Auto rotate fail? Of course. Unresponsiveness while filming another video? Well, this is just for me. Some others have also experienced other stuff like overheating and whatnot. Gboard is severely nerfed. I mean, Gboard is nerfed to a point where, okay, I can't have a number row on top of my, my letters. Okay, fine, I'll put up with it. And the entire layout is different of the keyboard. Even on with Gboard, the keyboard layout is still the same as an Apple keyboard. But the worst offender of it all is voice to text. Voice to text on Gboard is so bad that when you press on the voice to text button, it takes you to a whole another window. This has been going on for almost 15 minutes now. 15 minutes for voice to text. My screen recording has been turned off. I don't know if this is an Apple bug or a Gboard bug, but it's still adding to my bad experience. And why is it so weirdly nerfed? Okay, I know I've ranted too much. So how about we take a quick walk towards the bright side? This isn't a bad phone. I mean, like, it has an amazing screen, it has amazing speakers, and it also has like great build quality and whatnot. But most importantly, the cameras. The cameras are so damn amazing that I'm actually shooting on it right now. And a lot of the clips in this video have been shot on both the selfie camera as well as all other three lenses. Sadly, this video would have come out a lot more on time instead of being this late if the phone just did the conversion stuff in the background and did it actually quicker. Especially because if I just try to convert one video into a widely used format, it does it really quickly. But when I do it to multiple videos, it takes really long. And now look, I'm no stranger to having to wait for my videos to load and be sent. But I like both of them to happen at the same time, not for my videos to take 1 whole minute or 2 whole minutes to load and then another 2 minutes to send. Like, that's just too much of hassle. One of the highlight features of this year's 16 Pros was audio mix, where it captures sound spatially and you get to choose how you want it to sound. Standard mode for like regular stuff, and then there's in frame, then there's studio, And yeah, like, you can see that there's a difference. And this is like the one of the good features that I actually liked about iPhone 16 Pro. My main issue or main gripe with Apple is, now you've made this really big feature, okay? How do you market it, or how do you make it accessible for the consumer? I shot a video, then I go into the video settings, it's just not there. If I had a normal 16, I would just be like, okay, fine, it's only for like the pros. But I have a pro, so I'm now wondering, how do I do it? And then I have to go online and search up that, oh, it's turned off by default because your microphone records in stereo, which I clearly understand, but there should, like, Apple gives suggestions for the most random things ever. Like when I'm playing a game, it just sends me a notification saying that your mobile data is turned off. Would you like to turn it on? When you give a suggestion for me for that, when I'm editing something like say a video, and if I'm clearly like, like you could just show me like a bar saying like audio mix, and like it can just be like, grayed out because you haven't turned on this feature, or you haven't recorded this in spatial, like a suggestion. This can be something that can be worked on, in my opinion, because it's just not me. I think a lot of other people also have a gripe of it. Now, a lot of people actually don't even know that the feature exists because they didn't probably watch the keynote. I watched the keynote, and that's how I actually got to know about this feature in the first place. If I hadn't watched the keynote, I wouldn't have even probably known that this feature existed. All of these are small but significant issues that could build on top of each other to make or break someone's decision to buy an iPhone in the first place, especially if they were a previous Android user. Okay, so if I had known this before getting an iPhone, I think this particular thing would have been a huge deal breaker to me. And today, who knows, I might even not be using, actually, I'll scratch that. I'll tell you this. I will definitely not be using an iPhone if I knew this beforehand. So here's why. Outside of the US, most people's primary messaging app is not the default SMS app or like the texting app on their phone. It's mostly either WhatsApp or Telegram. But in the country that I reside in currently, most people use WhatsApp. So on WhatsApp, you can back up your chats on a daily or monthly or even weekly basis for that case. And when I was using an Android phone, and mind this, all of the people in my family or in my household also use Android phones. WhatsApp backups on Android phones happen in Google Drives. So all of us reached to a point where we didn't have enough storage on our Google Drives to handle all of the backups anymore. So all of us decided that we'd just get a family plan, like the Google One family plan, and we'd upgrade our storage so that we can keep backing up our WhatsApp data. And, we can at least save money by doing this instead of having to purchase individual plans. So we did this. And late last year, I had to switch to a new phone, because my old phone broke. And I chose an iPhone, thinking that everything would be mostly normal. I did expect a little bit of hiccups here and there, but nothing major. But what I didn't know until 4 months ago was that my WhatsApp stopped backing up. And I was like, I still had enough of storage in my Google Drive. I went and checked. And then I got to know that my WhatsApp on my iPhone was not backing up to Google Drive, but rather iCloud. So I have all this space in Google Drive, but I just can't use it for the very purpose that I actually bought it. So then now I have to buy this whole new subscription just so I can use WhatsApp on my iPhone. I mean, like, yes, it's iPhone, and like Apple forces you to use the services and whatnot, but it's just that it wasn't more in the face, or I don't know if this is a stupid decision, but I don't know. I wasn't made aware of this fact more clearly. And now I'm having to, I have to make a choice either to not just leave my WhatsApp unattended or have to pay for another subscription. And believe me, I'm the number one hater of subscriptions. So yeah, this is one more thing that you should probably be careful of in case you decide to switch to iPhone. And If any reviewer kind of warned me about this, like if you switch from Android to iPhone and you'd have to end up dealing with all of this, I don't think I would have gone through with my purchase. But you know what's a bigger issue? A bigger issue is when you promise something in your keynote, you brag about it for almost three-fourths of your keynote, and you end up saying, oopsies, we're not going to be delivering it at the time and we'll be delivering it later. So then you deliver it later, but you deliver it right? Like you deliver a completed product. No, you underdeliver so hard that it pisses off your core audience or your most loyal fans, and it basically flips them off. And that right there is Apple intelligence. And where do I even start? Most of these features were delivered months after being announced, and even after being launched, they were very, very half-baked. Hey Siri, what was last month? Well, Apple is currently at its lowest since the last 10 years, as it's lacking heavily on its AI front. They have a lack of experience in this field compared to someone like Google, who just has a better way of integrating these thoughtful smart features on its Pixel devices, mostly due to Google's expertise on this. Apple is now heavily playing catch up, and the iPhone 17 series will just truly say if Apple's gonna fall further or is it gonna salvage a little bit, perhaps. This was supposed to be shot before the iPhone 17 series released, but now that they're released, we can safely say that they've salvaged it very little. But I'm not gonna talk about anything until I see real world tests of how the iPhone 17 series performed. But hey, baby steps, I guess.